Today I fucked up by passing gas into my respirator. As an ICU nurse, these last few weeks have found me trapped in the COVID-19 ICU at my hospital. The whole unit, and the neighboring floor, has been turned into negative airflow rooms to keep airborne COVID-19 particles from infecting the rest of the hospital. This isn't a big issue for the semi-sick COVID patients, since they are generally droplet and contact precautions. But in the ICU, most of these patients are ventilated and constantly aerosolizing this virus. Anyways, I'm lucky enough to have a PAPR, which is a hood that goes over your head and shoulders that's hooked up to a machine around your waist by a tube. This machine blows air into the hood, making it so any aerosolized material in the air is pushed away from my face. It's not a closed system like a scuba tank or anything though. All the air that's blown at your face is sucked in through this belt machine, which is filtering it constantly through a 3M filter. Anyways, I'm all geared up and working in a patient's room when I have to pass some gas. Let a silent but deadly rip right under this PAPR machine's intake. Now, no particulate is getting through this thing, but gas sure does. I spent the next 5 minutes trying not to retch as this hood circulates my toxic gas sent through my hood. Note to self, wear the PAPR on the front next time. Too long didn't read, don't toot in the air shoot unless you wanna smell your own ass fruit. Edit, pic for reference. Damn. The hazards medical personnel are exposed to in these dangerous times. Where's my hazard pay? Lol. Reminds me of farting in waders. The water pressure rolls the bubbles up and lets them out of the bibs right under your chin. I used this same apparatus back when I used to work refinishing concrete, silica dust, and I found out one day that it doesn't filter out the smell of flatulence. I gassed myself, and told some co-workers that you can still smell farts come through. It eventually turned into a sick game where guys would fart into the intake and see how badly they could gas each other out. An electrician. We do lots of work for a local metal shop and all their welders wear these. They're a bunch of good guys and we are constantly giving each other shit. Looks like I have a new tool in my bag of tricks to fuck with them. Thanks for that. We did this all the time with an colleague. He had the same system for welding. If someone had to fart, went to that dude and let it rip against that intake thing. Even writing this I can still see him gagging. Fun times. So is this a self-inflicted hotbox or a Dutch oven? More like a Dutch dehydrator? Today I fucked up by masturbating to what sounded like two people having sex. Too long didn't read, at end. I live in a small apartment building in the middle of the city. Even though living directly in the city, the area tends to be really quiet. I come home from work, eat whilst watching TV and slowly make myself hover to my beloved bed. The urge of jerking off has been there all day. I just ignored it for today too. Everything was quiet when I heard the first few things starting to bang against the other side of my wall. Thinking nothing of it, I slowly drift off into sleep when suddenly, wham, another strike hits. This time louder and more shaky. I hear silent moans and loud humping. We just recently got new neighbors, a young couple mid-20s. As already mentioned, the urge to whack it was there all day, so I did what any man would do. I start jerking off to what I believe are sex sounds. Time goes on and the noises are getting louder and louder. Right as I finish I hear a loud thump like somebody just hit the floor. In shock, heart rate at around 200 BPM, I sit there. I stare into the emptiness of my room. Sitting there for what felt like years, was only 1 minute. Slowly I get myself together and start cleaning up. No new noise has since been heard. And with everything I lay in bed once again, this time ready for sleep. That's when I hear a loud knock knock from the other apartment's door. Police, please open the door. The door opens, the policemen swarm into the building. The woman screaming, as she is being brought to the outside. I look out the window. One cop and one ambulance car. My thoughts as slowly realize I just did the do to a woman getting beaten up. I feel bad now. I could have helped. This shit gon' give me PTSD for sure. Too long didn't read. What sounded like two people having sex, turned out to be a man beating up his woman, which I accidentally beat my meat to. Edit, changed, flick it to whack it. Edit 2, well lol this kinda blew up. So thanks for the gold and these other awards. Still in shock though. Edit 3, a lot of people think this is fake, a copy pasta, stolen. Sadly it's not. Also I don't know why people say free karma. I created the throwaway account especially for this instance. I'm never gonna use it again. Others think I'm a freak, like yeah alright. And you're flawless, Weird comment but I was confused when you said urge to flick it and then proceeded by did what any man would do. You flick in the bean or jerk in the meat lol. If it makes you feel better, my boyfriend lives with 3 roommates, 2 of them are a couple and share the master bedroom. The walls in the apartment are pretty thin. One morning after sleeping over, my boyfriend and I woke up to hear moaning coming from the living room, which is also very close to the master. For a long time. We avoided leaving the room at first because we assumed it was the other couple doing the do. Turns out it was the 3rd roommate, in a ton of pain suffering from kidney stones. He said he wasn't able to get up after sleeping on the couch and was surprised no one came to help him. He ended up calling his mom to come pick him up. When he was gone both BF and me and the other couple were talking and they didn't come out either because they assumed we were having sex. We all felt really bad. Edit, I'm not answering the same questions about this over and over. Why didn't he scream / call for help / call your phones or names? It's his fault for doing it for attention. As some people have already mentioned, when you're in a certain amount of pain, sometimes all you can do is moan. Getting through words and sentences is impossible. It's happened to me before. It was maybe 6/7 in the morning, realizing we were all likely to still be sleeping. He did get help. He called his mom, who's a nurse. I should have mentioned. The moaning in question lasted 30 to 40 minutes before she got there to take him to the hospital. He wasn't lying there for hours bemoaning why no one would come to his aid. My friend's mom was murdered by her boyfriend in the adjacent room to her and her brother's room while they were asleep. She woke up and heard it, assumed they were having sex, and went back to sleep. The boyfriend ran and she found her the next morning. That is heavy. I applaud your ability to jerk it to sound. The rest was imagination. I'm not proud. Well now you know, when in doubt, don't whip it out. Today I fucked up by trying to be sexy. Have you ever dated someone who makes you feel sexy and wanted? Yeah, me neither, until I started dating my current boyfriend. Feeling sexy and irresistible is a new experience for me and my libido has never been higher because of it. So today I fucked up by trying to be sexy and waking him up with a blowjob. We both sleep naked and when I woke up, he had a bit of a semi and I know it's a fantasy of his to wake up to someone sucking his dick. So I go down, honestly turning myself on and I know as soon as he wakes up we're gonna have sex and I'm all for it. So I'm being light and gentle at first, to not wake him up immediately and he's stirring a little bit. So I start getting a little more intense with it, and then he came. Oh god no he didn't come. He started pissing in my mouth. A torrent of morning pee into my mouth, then on the bed, and himself. To make matters a little extra fucked up, because the universe thought this wasn't bad enough, I threw up all over my side of the bed. He jolts awake, midstream, thinking he has just pissed the bed, to find this gigantic mess of vomit and piss everywhere. We spent the morning cleaning up the mess. We talked about it, but in that moment we didn't even know what to say to each other. All we could do was laugh hysterically like two maniacs in a bed covered in fluids. Too long didn't read. Tried to wake my boyfriend up by giving him head, and he pissed in my mouth and I threw up on the bed. It's apparently fairly common for that to happen, but good on you for trying. Best part is you both laughed about it, that's a good sign. Bed covers have saved me more than once. My dog puked her own shit, she had panic eaten all over my bed. Sheets and rug went into the trash, but it didn't touch the mattress. Every time I try to wake my boyfriend up with head he has to get up and pee before I can keep going. You're braver than I. If my dude just peed, I'm not putting my mouth down there. I know that drops trickle out after. My wife would have been pissed. This is the kinda relationship I want. Not the pissing in my mouth part but everything else. Edit. Wow, this blew up. And I already puked in bed. A specific memory I have as a child actually, but I won't get into it since I don't think it's the right place. Yeah, I feel like very few people want the mouth pee part of this tale. Lamau.